Alright guys, welcome back to the GSL. I am Wolf, with me is Moltrap. We've got GuMiho versus Curious, game 3.
Game number 3.
We've got only one more chance for GuMiho. If he loses any of the next 3 games that he may potentially play, he's out.
Yeah, man, it is all on the line now for GuMiho. Well, I guess I won't say all of it because some of it's on the line. You know, his shot at the finals is on the line. Of course, remember, if he does lose today, he's still going to be in the up and down matches. We're still going to have a solid shot at getting into Code S. But, of course, the main prize of Code A is if you win the entire Code A tournament, you get a shot straight into Code S. You don't have to play.
Yeah, they give you the medallion, man.
Exactly. Give you the medallion right there. You get to, like, wear it around your neck. Get to go out and have some barbecue and celebrate with your teammates. And
use the medallion as a coaster. You can do all sorts of things with that, man.
You can do whatever you want with that medallion. You don't have to do the up and down matches. Up and down matches are actually even harder than they used to be now.
Yeah.
For players that come up from Code A. Like, it used to be like if you got in the up and down matches, you had a pretty good chance of getting into Code S.
The old system made it hard for Code S players but easy for Code A players, so that it actually encouraged a lot of shifting, whereas the Code S players, if they lost any of the best of 3s and they were just in Code A, whereas the Code A player, if he won any of them, he was in Code S.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-chance thing, so.
It's still difficult for Code S players to stay in. It's still difficult it's just more difficult, I think, for Code A players to get into Code S. And part of that is because now 2 of the spots for Code S are not even available in the up and down matches anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's only 6 spots in the up and down matches. One of the spots, of course, from the winner of Code A, and the other one from the winner of recent MLG. Whenever the season starts, the most recent MLG winner gets into Code S. Or if the winner already has Code S status, the next person under them that doesn't have Code S status. So that's why, for instance, Dongrigu was in Code S this season, even though he got only the round of 16 of Code A last season.
Absolutely.
So Daybreak is going to be the map for game number 3.
Very macro-oriented map. We're not going to see any crazy ghost timing attacks on this map. It's a very large map. The rest is huge. This is GuMiho's last chance. If he messes this one up, he is out of here. He's not going to make it to the round of 2.
We're going to find out in just a second.
Round of 2.
I like that, the round of 2.
The round of 2, man.
Otherwise known as the finals. And here is a guy who is 1 game away from not being in the finals. He really needs to bring his A game here. He needs to at least bring his A game if he wants to shut at Code S. There he is. Oh, got it up in the light blue. Spamming pretty hard there. And here's his Zerg opponent. He's up 2 games. He's been playing immaculately with his harassment. And that's really, I think, the story of both those games is defending until he gets mutas, harassing like crazy until GuMiho gets sick of it and attacks, and then just trading and defending the attack while he trades.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier when we first started talking about this broadcast today, is that GuMiho might actually do some weird stuff. He might actually go for early attacks. He might try some weird things because his goal here is winning. Like we were saying, most players at this stage want to just win and they want to play less passively. But on the other hand, Curious is actually still playing that old defensive, careful style here, and it's actually winning out for him.
I'm still waiting for GuMiho to do something crazy. I'm just kidding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The nuke rush was a little bit zany. It's cool to see though. It's a really neat build.
Yeah, you can tell he practiced it quite a bit.
Looks like we're gonna have the same openers basically from both players. GuMiho going for just a barracks wall off. And we're going to see what he does after that, of course.
So, of course, it's going to be a 1 barracks expand.
Yeah, probably. Curious, again, going for the hatch first, then getting his gas, and then his spawning pool.
Yeah. Pretty common openings on this map.
Yeah.
A little bit surprising not to see a pool before gas on this map, but so sometimes it's a 2-player map, you never know. Well, it's pretty common to see a fast command center like this on the low ground because there is a secondary ramp. If you guys aren't familiar with this map.
He did scout with a drone too, so he kind of knew what was coming.
Ready.
And Overlord might get caught over by GuMiho's base as this SCV scouts around. we're not going to get a shot of it, I don't think, but the
Well,
Overlord's okay anyway.
Yeah, he hit over the high ground, hide up there. Sort of the cowardly Overlords hide, the ones that don't want to face danger.
Dude, Overlords don't have any attack. I wouldn't want to face danger either if I was an Overlord.
That's because you're a coward.
Maybe.
It's okay.
Do you expect the Overlords to just, like, sacrifice themselves, steer into battle?
Well, if you don't know if your opponent has a command center or not, then yeah. He didn't check, man.
Oh, he didn't?
He doesn't see it.
Oh. Well,
you can assume because he did see that no gas was taken.
Yeah.
But what if it's a 6 barracks all in? What if he's playing against the little one?
He was hiding 5 racks somewhere.
It's possible, man. That Overlord's not going above and beyond the Call of Duty.
That's true.
He's a coward.
You know what? He's doing. You're like not appreciating him, man. You're like saying that the people like on the wall of the castle aren't as brave as the people or the. What am I getting at? He's the guy behind the scenes. He's the guy providing food for the guys on the wall of the castle. You know. He's providing the supplies so the Zerglings can exist, so that the whole army can battle on. Without him sitting there cowardly, the Zerg couldn't make more drones.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, Moltrap, but at the same time, this Overlord's role was a scout, man. He's like the high-ranking Overlord official. He's supposed to go and scout. He's not just like a regular Overlord that just sits in the corner all game and hopes to get shot by a Viking because his life is that boring, okay? This is a special Overlord.
He's like manning one of the most important choke points of the entire game, man. He is gonna see when the enemy moves out, no matter which direction they go. That is a crucial Overlord right there.
It's very crucial. It's true.
Right.
I won't deny it.
Maybe we should stop arguing about the importance of the one Overlord.
Well, I don't think we're arguing. We're just making funny jokes.
That's what we do. That's what we do here at the GSL. Make funny jokes.
The starport is finishing up here, and he's got a tech lab waiting for it, so we're going to see some Banshee play. Something that GuMiho is known for, especially Cloak Banshees, and based on how much gas he's got stored up, I think we may end up seeing Cloak here. Not researching it immediately, making a Banshee first.
He does have the money for Cloak.
Looks like he's not going to be getting it. He would have gotten it now.
Yeah.
In most cases, it's best to make Cloak before the Banshee because the Banshee takes less time to build than the Cloak, of course, takes to research.
Going with a lot of Hellions as well. And getting a 3rd command center already, actually. And I really liked how, I hope he'll do this later as well, I like how GuMiho got that Raven before he pushed last game. I don't know why Terrans don't do that more often with the propensity for Zergs to make burrowed Baneling landmines.
Plus, you can clean up creep with that.
Yeah, exactly. You can clean up all the creep tumors without using scans. You can clean up burrowed Banelings.
Add some extra DPS. Auto turrets are armored structures.
True.
You can drop those in front of Banelings to add some, make some Baneling hits go off. Why not? It's really good to have a Raven in your army. Ask QXC how he feels about it. He'll tell you. Well, right
Banshee
now,
is out. It's been spotted by Curious.
Yeah, he's just going to use this Banshee to do a little bit of harassment. More so, though, it's going to be for scouting. It's also going to be to help hold the watchtowers in the middle of the map. There's no way he's going to be able to make this little attack do a ton of damage, but he is going to catch a queen here, which is pretty fortunate.
Wow.
Banshee's doing some extra damage. Banshee actually took his hit points down to 1/3, though, from engaging that queen. Yeah. Spire is on its way, as well as a macro hatchery for Curious. Playing so patiently, so safe, just like usual. He knows the pressure is on, it's okay. I'm just going to play safe here. I've just got to win one more game. I'm going to make a macro hatchery. I'm going to get that extra production and take a 3rd base when it's safe to.
Yeah. Although actually, nope. Drone decides not to make an extra hatchery after all. Yeah, GuMiho going for basically mass mech. Is he going to see it? Oh, he didn't drop a changeling out.
Oh! That was close.
He could have easily dropped the changeling as he walked in there to get the full scout on, but he doesn't. And so he only saw 2 of the factories. Doesn't see that there's a 3rd factory, 3 tech labs going on in that base. Oh, the Hellions get surrounded by the Zerglings.
But nice control by GuMiho.
Nice.
Looks like he will save them.
And he actually might not lose them after all. He only loses 1. Oh.
Not the best control there at the end, but he does save a few of them. Cleans up all of the Zerglings. Yep. Blue Flame is almost done. Vehicle plating is being researched right now. And GuMiho is completely meching here. Like you said, he's gone up to 3 factories. Right now, adding 2 more factories as he takes his 3rd base.
Ooh, I like this. I like that he's switching over the factory and the starport. So he's getting the tech lab on the starport and the reactor on the factory, so now you can make lots of Hellions out of that and start to make more Banshees, more Ravens.
And another thing I really like that he's doing is, even though the bottom right base has more minerals added, he's taking the base that's closer to his opponent so he can put pressure on more easily from that expansion. Always, when you mech, it's oftentimes the key to expand towards your opponent so that counterattacks are less effective against you when you're out moving on the map.
Yeah, very smart choice there. It also means that he's going to be a little bit more vulnerable from things coming in from this side. As you see, those Zerglings are in the side. They're kind of ready for a counterattack.
Those Thors are looking pretty scary. The Muse are going to avoid them, but they are going to find this one. The Magic Box him. Hides behind the bunker.
Yep. Smart move there. He's going to repair that Thor up as well. 4 Thors. I think it's time for those Mutas to get out of there.
They do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah,
only one Muta goes down.
Yeah,
so.
not the best turret coverage, so you can get a few SCV kills before leaving.
And third base is up and mining now. Again, it has less minerals, but it's closer to his opponent's base, so when he moves out to put some pressure on with his mech units, it's going to be okay. He's getting high-sec auto-tracking right now for his missile turrets, making 5 Hellions and 2 Thors constantly at a time here. Has made a Viking as well to go and hunt Overlords. No more Banshees or Ravens, though.
Just going mass Thor here, not even going for the siege tanks. I mean, you don't really need the siege tanks that much if you got the Thors. They kind of partly cover the same purpose.
Yeah, it just depends on how well you can split them. Splitting Thors actually is somewhat important in certain situations.
Yeah,
we saw Nada's Thor usage in the GSL not work out as well because he didn't split them. Banelings killed him so quickly. And a lot of damage being done to these Mutas here, and he's actually trying to magic box these Thors, but so much damage is being done.
Oh, he actually might kill one of the Thors, though. He does.
Does kill one Thor and actually gets out with very few losses. Takes a lot of damage, but doesn't lose very many actual Mutas.
Yeah, he needs to. He can't use those Mutas for a little while, though, because he does need to let them regenerate some of their health. Most of them are going to die in another Thor hit. Oh, Hellions coming in. They've got the blue flame upgrade and actually +1, which makes them double hit workers, but he gets trapped. And he's going to be able to fall back.
Doing a lot of damage as he retreats as well. And we will finally.
We actually have a situation where, you know, we talk about like, okay, well, in some situations it's still going to work out okay, despite the fact that the Hellions have lower damage with the blue flame upgrade. With +1 ground weapon, does he? He has the +1 weapons, right?
No,
yeah.
He only has +1.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought he had +1 weapons. Never mind. Take it all back. But if a Hellion has blue flame and +1 weapons, it will still 2-hit drones. That's all I was getting at, I guess.
I really like that he's actually going for armor here. He's actually getting +2 plating right now and continuing to produce Thors because Thors have so much armor already. But when you add that extra armor, they just do so well, and the Zerglings just are so insignificant against them.
Yeah, especially because Zerglings are kind of like one of the counters to Hellions. I mean, not to Hellions, to Thors.
Uh-oh, these Hellions at the north.
Oh, wow.
That's just so many Hellions, it doesn't even make sense.
He's going to kill everything.
The Queen, these are dying injections, like, well, I guess this is all I can do. Now, at this point, I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen a switch by Curious into Roaches. Roaches, of course, work pretty well against Thors.
Yeah,
because they're cost efficient against Thors. It's basically the only thing I have to say. I mean, he's not going to be able to make Mutas or Zerglings or Banelings work against these Thors very well, especially with +2 armor.
And the other thing is that most of that army is Hellions, and Roaches just do so good against Hellions.
He's got Infestors out. He does not have Neural Parasites, so he's just going to be able to fungal Hellions. It's going to do a little bit of extra damage to mech. Ooh, trying to do some Baneling aggression here, but GuMiho spotted that. Didn't fall for it. But yeah, the Infestors are not going to be very useful without Neural Parasite. He can fungal Hellions and catch those, but against the Thors, it's not going to be too significant. I mean, it can certainly help slow down the attack.
Yep, well, he's deciding to spend most of his gas on Broodlords instead. He's getting some Corruptors out. The Greater Spire is going to finish in less than a minute or so.
Yeah, he needs that finisher.
Oh, man.
That is actually not appropriate for children to see.
That was harsh, man. So many Zerglings died in each of those volleys. It was disgusting. And now the Thors are marching up the ramp. The Hellions need to get over to support them.
They're all in a huge clump, though, and there are a decent amount of Banelings here. If he loses his army even one time, going to give Curious a great position. Now he bungles these Thors.
And the Greater Spire finishes. He needs to get those Broodlords morphing right now.
He really needs those Broodlords. He's starting them. He's got 6 on the way. But GuMiho is not waiting, man. He's right on top of his base.
And he does fungal some of the Hellions. He's actually going to kill... Oh! Some of those Hellions are so close to death. If he gets one more fungal or a few Baneling hits, he can kill them off. But in the meantime, they're doing lots of damage here. Broodlords are about to finish morphing. The Vikings are in play. I don't know if he has anything to deal with these couple Vikings. Here come the Banelings coming in. All the injured Hellions die before the Siege Tanks can clean up.
And the Siege Tanks are doing a decent amount of damage, but now the Thors, aren't there enough? Looks like the Vikings and the Thors combined will just barely be enough to clean up these Broodlords, and I think Curious is in a lot of trouble. I'm not sure what his next answer is going to be. He's making a ton of Zerlies right now, but there's still Hellions in here, and Thors even alone do a decent amount of damage to Zerlies, and they have +2 armor.
Yeah, they are soaking up so much damage. Looks like he might actually kill 2 of the Thors. Yes, and maybe a third. The Zerglings might be the heroes of this game, coming at the last moment to clean up the Hellions. Sorry, clean up the Thors and the Siege Tanks.
But remember, there are still a lot of Hellions here, and the Zerlings are now bunching up. And the Vikings actually continue to go to work, damaging these Overlords. Drones coming off the line here, some SCVs poised to repair, and more Zerlings coming here. The Infestors, though, are out. They're bungling everything. It looks like Curious might just be able to hold this. Again, though, still continue to lose Overlords. He's actually about to become supply blocked here. Infested Terrans dropping. Looks like he is definitely going to be able to hold this.
Whoa, just barely. Infested Terrans trying to kill off that tank.
I don't know, more tanks coming in, man.
He just doesn't have the production right now.
He just doesn't, and he's actually supply blocked. He has to make more Overlords. There's 7 Overlords in production right now.
He lost his Baneling nest, so he's not able to make Banelings right now until another one pops up in a second. And yeah, he's totally supply blocked. He actually panicked and made 11
so many
Overlords.
drones are about to die at the natural. They're right below that hatchery. You guys can get a shot of it. They're in danger. There's more drones in the main that are in danger.
Oh yeah, everything's gonna die. Those drones are gonna be breakfast for the drivers of those tanks because they're getting roasted. And I think this might be it for Curious. GuMiho might be able to come back into this, but 24 Mutalisks are on the way.
Those
24 Mutalisks could theoretically clean this up.
Those 24 Mutalisks will absolutely clean this up, but he's still lost so much. And more Thors have been made back at the main base. He's continuing to produce those.
Yeah,
and the Vikings will be cleaned up at the very least.
The tanks are trying to get out of there. But there's just so much stuff that it's going to be a while for those Mutalisks to clean everything.
The Hellions are trying to target down the Spire, but that's not going to work. It just has too many hit points. 3 Thors at a time on the way here, and here come the Mutas, though. Those turrets are not finished in time, not even close.
These Mutas are so clutch, but they can't be everywhere at once. They can't be saving the main and attacking the tanks and attacking that 4th at the same time.
A group of Hellions at the top left base killing so many drones as these SCVs flee for their lives from the Mutas. It's actually such a good series, man.
Wow. Curious, man, if he holds this again, this is going to be absolutely incredible. He's going to take out that 4th base.
And there's no mining at the 5th and final base. Nice fungal catching the majority of those siege tanks. Even some Infested Terrans going to add some extra DPS.
He can't lose that hatchery, though. He's going after the planetary.
Planetary will fall here.
Oh, and some more Mutalisks are coming in to kill off the tanks. Are they able to get the tanks before the hatchery dies? He's targeting the hatchery. The Zergling's trying to kill the tank. The hatchery's almost dead.
Oh! 1 more second and he would have saved it, but he unfortunately does not.
The last volley from those last 2 tanks takes out the hatchery.
And now 4 Thors in production about to finish. He's got +2 weapons as well. And if these Mutas get taken out, GuMiho is still going to be in a decent spot, but he is killing these Thors. And here come the Thors down the ramp. It looks like GuMiho, despite being 40 supply down, might be in a decent spot here. Right now it's 42 drones to 23 SCVs, 7 Zerlies, and 25 Mutas, 3 Hellions, 4 Thors, and 3 Marines out for GuMiho.
This is ridiculous. Curious, somehow, in the midst of being attacked by mass siege tanks and Thors, killed off the 4th and 3rd bases of GuMiho, and then also defended against mass tanks. Those Mutas were so clutch. That was a really good decision. And I mean, he just had so much money in the bank that he's like, all right, Part of it may have just been, I don't actually have any other buildings. And here he goes in for another attack, though.
Magic boxing these Thors. These Thors have 2-2 upgrades, though, and they are actually holding on.
I don't know if that's the best idea to fight with just mutas.
He's going to try to make this work. Another turret finishing as well, doing some extra damage. He has the turret upgrade, and these Thors look like they're not going to hold this muta attack, and I think this might be it for GuMiho because he just does not have enough money to continue to produce these units.
Yep, that one turret is not quite.
He can't hold this base. Nice micro on those videos. The turrets, remember, have high sec auto tracking, so that's why they're able to do a little bit of extra there. Right now, the income is very similar for these guys, about 800 minerals per minute for Curious to about 700 minerals per minute for GuMiho. And trying to take out some of these drones. Oh, getting a few of those. Both players doing everything they can here to win this game. It's such a close game. It's down to the wire. But I think with sheer numbers, I think Curious is going to win this one.
I think Curious is barely going to take this. Such amazing defense by Curious. Absolutely ridiculous. This guy is so good at StarCraft. And oh, he might get these mules. They're pretty low anyway. But
and
just,
the turret. GG.
Just for the capping stone on that one. GG. Curious takes out GuMiho
3-0.
3-0.
Not what I expected, to be honest.
No, definitely not.
Curious is just on another level.
That was just amazing. That was ridiculous.
Just so patient and knows exactly what to do in these tough, weird situations. GuMiho looking a little bit disappointed.
Oh, he's giving me a little back rub.
But today is not over for FXO because up next we've got FXO Oz playing against Sage.
Now you have a little bit of a conundrum here, Wolf, don't you? Because you were talking to Oz before and he's like, hey man, why were you keep saying that I was going to lose? You kept thinking I was going to lose. So now you might want to like cheer on your teammate and say he's going to win, but every time you said he was going to lose, he won. So you might want to actually continue to cheer to say he's not going to win so that he won't be jinxed.
Well, in this case, of course, Oz, in all the games he played in Code, he started out playing against Bjorn, and I didn't think he was going to win that one. And then each other match, I was like, it's going to be close, but I'd give the favorite to the other player. And each time he's proven me wrong time and time again. And he did confront me about it. He's like, hey, Wolf, I heard you thought I was going to lose. I'm like, well, it's true, man. I thought you were going to lose, but he's been winning. And again, I think that Sage is the favorite here. That's just my opinion. And it's almost like certain that it's fact. It's like, it's actually he's just the favorite. That's just a factual statement.
Well, he is a favorite. He is the favorite.
But if the trend continues, if the curse continues, Oz may win again.
Sage, it's true. Sage has been hyped up a lot. And he's been playing very good. I don't know if he's quite like the best Protoss ever just yet. Like, he hasn't quite proven that to me. A lot of people, that's like what the hype is saying, is like, oh, he's the next Protoss Bone Draw. He's going to beat everyone. He's going to win Codes next season and all this stuff. I haven't quite seen that from him yet. So I'm not going to say that he's like definitely going to win against Oz because Oz has been playing a lot better than, than I would say than expected this season.
Well, Oz did beat JYP in a PvP, and that's saying a lot.
Exactly.
So, he's obviously prepared specific builds for this. And we're going to see how it goes.
Yep. Sage also is not been doing too well against Protoss players lately. He's actually like 3-7 his last 10 games against Protoss. He's lost his last 5.
Yeah, he lost to
Something
Genius.
like that.
He made too many Immortals in that game on Crossfire. Immortals are bad in PvP, man. I watched that game, and I could just know. I was watching it on the Korean stream, and I just watched it, and I was like, I bet our toast is going crazy right now, but I'm like, this game is really silly.
It was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game
Double
to watch.
Immortal drop. That was pretty cool. And then, like, he put Stalkers in the Warp Prism, and you try to use the Warp Prism to catch the Warp Prism, to use the Stalkers to kill Warp Prism, but then he dropped the Immortals out to kill the Stalkers that were killing the Warp Prism.
Go back and watch that VOD.
It was awesome. It was
the final
awesome game.
was pretty awesome.
But yeah, so Sage, I think, has been hyped up to be kind of the favorite here, but I think Oz definitely...
I think Sage is the fan favorite, but I think Oz can definitely... He can definitely pull a win out here. He's done it before. He's surprised me time and time again.
Yeah.
And might be able to get to that finals and possibly have a shot at a Codes spot.
Yeah, he did lose to Genius, as you mentioned, and he also recently in an iCup tournament lost. Got 0-3'd by Yonghua. So I don't know, man. He did beat, I think he beat Core, who's an okay Protoss player
He's
as
okay.
well. But he's got some proving to do. Anyway, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. The next PvP is going to be awesome. We'll see you in a few.